What's up, guys, and welcome back to the next game, Dota 2 Invitational. This is going to be the penultimate game. The grand finals are already, well, they already have one team waiting in there. I think it's MSI, if I am maybe a little bit mistaken, but either way, one of these two teams will be eliminated. The other team will be moving on to said grand final. I'm Mikelorus, one of your casters for today. Danelie is also, or at least should be, still on the line. Are you there, and how are you doing, if so?
5 seconds remaining.
Still alive. Best way to put it. But yes, I am here.
Reserve time.
I'm gonna need some more volume from you.
Oh, dear.
Radiant team ban.
Alright. So,
That actually did decrease the volume, so you're going the wrong way.
that decreased the volume. How about this?
That's better. There we go. At least it's in the right direction.
I'm sorry. But we're
10
here with
seconds
two big teams,
remaining.
Mineski and First Departure. I honestly didn't think these two would be left standing toe-to-toe. So, we'll have to see how this goes. I did manage to watch a Mineski game. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to have to keep on adjusting my microphone to it somewhere decent. But I didn't actually get to see any First Departure games. Did you manage to catch any First Departure games?
Yeah, I mean, this tournament is really small, so they've only played one other team before, and yeah, I was on that one. It was versus RRQ, so First Departure, it was pretty much the Miracle Show, which sometimes for them as a team,
10
it kind of just
seconds remaining.
becomes that, but other times Miracle is, takes a little bit more of a sideshow. He went off with like a Morphling and an IO or something crazy like that. I don't quite remember since it was a hell of a long time ago, but yeah, First Departure with a pretty convincing win over their opposition, and well, Mineski similarly 2-0'd their opponents.
Yeah, the Mineski game was just an absolute stomp. So we'll have to see if Mineski can keep their form. Whereas First Departure, it's going to be really hard to say how they're going to perform. We'll see if it's going to be, as you said, the Miracle
Radiant
Show, or if
team
it's going to be
ban.
a bit of a different playstyle. Because they played their game before TI, right?
Yeah, the only one game was played since TI has ended, and that was MSI versus Satu Duo whatever Tiga.
Yeah, so it's hard to determine First Departure's form. So we'll have to see. We'll jump
5
into the draft, I
seconds
suppose.
remaining.
We've got one unusual ban, surprisingly enough. It's an Ancient Apparition
Reserve
ban
time.
for Mineski. I feel that this has to be a respect ban too. Was it Lubby that played Ancient Apparition for First Departure? I feel like it was it Lubby, or am I thinking of someone else?
I don't
someone
quite
else
remember.
played.
Yeah, I do seem to
played
remember them playing a lot of Ancient Apparition. It's a good supplementary hero when you have a player and a player-hero matchup like Miracle, who just tends to go in Ancient Apparition, is great at helping him get that early game start. We also have the Leshrac banned out, and anyone should not be surprised about that. Earthshaker going to be the first pick, leaving heroes like Queen of Pain, Gyrocopter, etc., in the pool. So I expect these first picks to go pretty much as per normal, and there it is.
Yeah, Queen of Pain, she's worthy
Whoa.
of being one of the first two picks. Winter Wyvern, though, normally we'd see this hero picked in third or fourth. She is a great hero, but when you draft a Winter's Wyvern, you'd like to have the utility of the Cold Embrace. But when you pick it up early, the other team's going to have the chance to pick up heroes that can cast damage through the Cold Embrace to burst down some of those heroes. So it's a good spell, but it's also going to be some setup for Mineski. So First Departure, we'll have to see how they want to play out with the Winter Wyvern, but they've
Radiant team
pretty much
ban.
locked in their mid with Queen of Pain, unless they want to put her in the offlane role. That's also viable. Whereas Mineski, they picked up a very solid offlaner in the Darkseer, and as you said, they've picked up an Earthshaker.
Well, First Departure definitely the type of team that would say, okay, screw it, we're just going to put Miracle in the mid lane with
Dire
someone who
team
shouldn't be going towards the mid lane, and then it'll probably work out. He played Huskar, and then, was that versus RRQ? I think it was. He just, like, A-moved down the mid lane and just didn't leave and just took Raxes. It was not supposed to be what happens ever, but still, they
10
are
seconds
not
remaining.
going to be too hesitant about putting Miracle in the mid lane
Radiant
with
team
any
ban.
given hero. But ordinarily, I would say for most
Radiant
teams,
team
Queen of Pain is going to be going towards that mid lane. We do have heroes that would be able to resist the currently light CC status of First Departure, getting rid of the mobility heroes, getting rid of the blinkers in the AM and the Storm. Then Mineski getting rid of the Tusk because he's OP as hell. And the Huskar, I think, is a little bit more of respect towards Miracle.
Yeah, absolutely. So with those mobile heroes eliminated from the pool for Mineski, do they still go for one of those heroes that can jump in? Or is there something available that can put in a similar role but would not be as effective because there are a lot of heroes in Dota 2, but we only see a small pool of them, unfortunately. And I can't remember them myself. Does not help.
Well, the Darkseer is most likely going to go towards the offlane. So as far as heroes that can still jump in and get the initiation on first departure, Shaker probably not going to get a super fast Blink Dagger. He rarely does. Darkseer going to take the place so that someone like a Clockwork is not really a huge pickup here for Mineski. And at that point, it's like, yeah, you go for, Blink, Shadowblade, DK, or heroes along those lines, but I don't know, it doesn't seem like Mineski right now with their draft have any way of actually effectively getting onto this Queen of Pain unless they catch her at a good angle, high ground, fog of war, whatnot, or they just have some sort of chain stun follow-up with the Shaker.
Chain stun, or they could go for silence if they want to. There are a couple of heroes that have effective silences to work up against the Queen of Pain. One matchup I want to mention that you can put up against the Queen of Pain is the Lina. Lina does surprisingly well up against a Queen of Pain, but it's also dependent on both mid heroes, whether you're comfortable in the hero, and if the Queen of Pain can get the jump on the Lina and Lina misses the stun, there is a chance that the Queen can get the upper hand. So that is one hero that we've suggested. Gyrocopter is going to be the pick for Mineski, though. Surprisingly enough, this hero managed to get through all 8 bans.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Mineski's going to be happy to grab that one.
They probably don't have to kill too many brain cells to figure out what they want. It's well, I mean, we've all seen Gyrocopter games. I don't have to blow smoke up your guys' asses, but still, Gyrocopter, especially versus Winter Wyvern, a hero that you definitely want, as Cold Embrace usually going to, brick wall any sort of physical right clicks from, say, an Anti-Mage or any hero similar to that. But Gyrocopter is a little bit more resistant to that because of his vast array of magical damage, so it's a good hero, but it's also specifically a very good hero to have here. As first Parcher grabbed the Spirit Breaker, looks like they're going to start moving towards the more aggressive end of things. As Spirit Breaker in the off lane, most likely Queen of Pain mid, they should just be looking for someone to be farming up down on that bottom lane.
So first departure, do they go for
What
the
are you
standard
doing to your
miracle
mic?
hero?
How are you changing it so much so often?
I don't know, because there's people in chat saying it's
There's
quiet.
also 5-minute delay.
Yeah, so is that okay now, or is it breathing?
Okay, now is like what it should be like. Hopefully I'll balance it so it's not too terrible.
Can you hear breathing though? That's the only issue, because I'm almost eating my microphone.
Well, as long as you don't take a bite, I think we should be fine.
Okay, I'll try and keep my taste buds in check. I mentioned a silence type of hero. Mineski gonna pick up a silencer as their 4th pick. What do you feel about silencer?
I mean, it's really nice given the fact that they do have all this AoE, so they will be able to decisively take a 5v5 team fight. First Departure will then have to play the small skirmish game, which is perfectly fine for them. And they walk right into the silencer pick with the Faceless Void. I mean, Void is fine, I guess, but I don't know, I don't really think it's really what you want up against a Gyrocopter, up against a Darkseer especially, so this Silencer pick, I'm usually not a huge fan of it, although I am a fan of mid lane Silencer. That's looking pretty sweet nowadays, but now I think it got a lot better now that Faceless Void is in the game.
I'm surprised about this Faceless Void pick for first departure, because when Faceless Void used to be picked often, what did teams normally use him for? They used him for initiation, to pretty much use him to set up spells. So you had Jack Heroes throwing macro pyres in, you had Scarith Mages putting in Mystic Flares. You look at first departure's draft, aside from the Queen of Pain, what other damage sources can they effectively use in the Chronosphere? Is it just going to help set up the extra Lion disable after the Chronosphere?
Yeah, it doesn't
So
really
it's
seem like there's a lot of
wonky.
upside here, right? It's like, great,
Yeah.
we landed a Chronosphere, 5-man Chronosphere. Now what? Like, what's the end game to that? Faceless Void has to be super mega farmed if you're actually going to do anything with that, and it's going to be pretty difficult given it looks like his lane opposition is going to be Darkseer. And Faceless Void is not a resistant hero to the Ion Shell. He just takes that all day long, so if you were going to go for one of these old picks, FD, I think someone like a Troll Warlord probably would have been a little bit more up their alley.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Faceless Void pick, but we'll see if First Departure can make it happen. Maybe they'll play the Faceless Void like an anti-mage. Maybe you just have him farm up those items, get really big, and then just fight with him. Maybe that's how they want to play the Faceless Void. But Mineski gonna pick up their final hero in the Dazzle, and I like this. They're gonna be pushing the Silencer into a core role.
I've seen too many support silencers fail, so I was a little bit worried if this is going to be a support silencer, but I'm glad he is going to be getting some farm.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like here about the support silencer is that he won't really have that many heroes that can help him out. Like, versus Queen of Pain, it's going to be a lot of traded damage. Earthshaker is fine as far as making rotations in towards a Queen of Pain for a first stun, but you really need someone else, someone like a Rubik, to follow up afterwards if you're going to be getting those kills. And as a silencer mid lane, well, first of all, as any mid laner, you want to be getting kills, obviously. But silencer even more so, getting that intelligence swing super early on against a hero who really does need her mana pool in that Queen of Pain. Dazzle's fine. He's very good versus the Faceless Void, and when the enemy team is going to go for that type of strategy, having just a point-click, no, you're not going to get this kill function is really useful, but I think I would rather like to see someone like Rubik for Mineski, just some sort of secondary follow-up so that they could apply a lot of pressure towards the mid lane and get this farming silencer, this core mid lane silencer, some extra intelligence.
Did you watch the last Best of 3 series on Tuesday? Did you see the silencer for that game? Please tell me you saw that game. I
Is
casted
that MSI? I didn't see those games.
It was the last game, a silencer with 52 intelligence.
Stolen?
Stolen.
How the hell does that happen?
He snowballed to the point of no return, and unfortunately the Radiant was had lost too many brain cells to make a comeback.
That's just like... That's just
It was
not
a bit-
supposed
it
to
was right.
happen. Like, can they actually cast spells at that point? Is there some sort of mercy rule that should be in effect once that happens? Because
They
like,
could cast spells, yes.
like the fact that, first of all, like, not being able to cast spells or all your spells how you want to should be handicap enough. But then there's like Glaives of Wisdom, and it adds to his base attack, so yeah, it could get kind of stupid if Silencer is actually going to get that much farm. I don't think he is. I don't think he's going to get away with all of that this game. They seem to be a little bit low on CC Mineski, so Silencer may struggle to actually get those kills without blowing a global silence, but hey, you never know. We'll see as
Not just
they're
that,
going
though,
to
yeah.
load out into their lanes. For a first departure, it's going to be Palasan going up towards the top lane as the Spirit Breaker. Miracle's going to be taking the mid, Queen of Pain. Lulz is on the Faceless Void, Kai is on the line, and Lubby is on the Winter Wyvern. Is Lulz someone else? I think he was tagged up as someone else in the lobby. I don't remember.
I have no idea who it is. The admin told them to use their official name, so I don't
Yeah.
know who
Like
Lulz
they're going to do
is.
that. Oh, Fissure. Fissure's going to catch Kai. He does not have a way through those trees. He's going to throw a spike, but now he's in between a rock and a hard place. This looks like it's some early intelligence for the Silencer, and it will be. And I actually want to fight this. This is into Rocket Barrage, and a lot of damage from Charlie right now. Lulz taking a lot of damage, and he does have a time walk, so he won't outright die right now, or at least he shouldn't. Miracle will blink out as well, but there's another Fissure which will hit. And there's 12 seconds. Miracle's going to take a beating. Okay, never mind about what I said. I'm just completely wrong. It's going to be 2 stacks of int for the Silencer super early on. Mineski get off to, well, pretty much the best start possible.
We didn't even get to introduce Mineski. That's how quickly everything escalated. But on the side of Mineski, playing on the Dire, already securing themselves 2 kills before pretty much the beginning of the game. We have Lulz, the unknown player on Faceless Void. We don't know if this is the official name or if they've mistagged, or I'm not too sure what's happened. But
You're not paying
he'll
attention.
be
He'll
be Lulz.
I just did FD, man. Come on.
Oh, he did. Oh, okay.
Danny
I'm
confirmed
sorry.
drunk, guys.
I'm
Sleep it
I had
off.
dinner, okay? Okay, so we've got 1029 playing on the Dazzle. We've got Jules, who's going to be handling our Gyrocopter in the off lane, in a dual lane, surprisingly enough, towards the mid lane. Trolley, who's already got 2 intelligence on our Silencer. He'll be babysat by QQ, or what's the actual pronunciation for?
You're asking definitely the wrong person.
I casted their team. Oh my goodness, I'll figure it out later. Cuckoo, that's it. Cuckoo on the Earthshaker, and then Jesse Vash on the Darkseer, who is chasing after Polison on the Spirit Breaker and really pushing him out of lane.
Yeah, the Iron Shell matchup versus Spirit Breaker is actually pretty good. Spirit Breaker has a lot of armor, a lot of health, but still not exactly going to be the safest. We do have a semi-roaming Cuckoo Earthshaker gonna land a Fissure. Blink is up. Queen of Pain blinks right into the Shaker, though. Miracle with the jukes will just loop around the trees once, and the Shaker will not find the last hit. That was incredibly dangerous for Miracle. Why would you blink down there after seeing a Fissure come up from there? Remains a mystery, but either way, Queen of Pain, she does survive, but she has to go all the way back to base. Trolley is going to be in a 1 versus 0 matchup. And as Silencer, you actually do want to be up against enemy heroes so that you could harass them and whatnot, because his base damage is so insane. But still, he's going to be dominating this mid lane, and I don't know if there's any way that First Departure can actually help Miracle right now, because all their heroes in the bottom lane have their hands tied.
My goodness. So the fact that First Departure already has Miracle sent to base means that Mineski is doing so much better in the lanes already. You get 2 kills before the beginning of the game, and then you're already dominating your lanes. You have a dual lane controlling a tri-lane. You never want this to happen, and in particular you've got a tri-lane that's got a lot of sustain with the Dazzle, and you've got some decent disables with a Lion. This should never happen. Oh, I keep looking at the wrong heroes, but they're going to try and jump up the Jules because unfortunately the Dazzle had went to check for the rune, and Jules, he's going to unfortunately have to give his life away. The haste rune, not getting 10-29 there quick enough, but he will harass out Kai. Oh, Cuckoo's going to come in with the fissure. He does get it perfectly. It looks like Kai is going to be stuck in the trees, but unfortunately the Dazzle cannot get vision of the Lion, and he's going to just cut his way through deeper into the forest.
Well, it's still the Dazzle off on a rune mission, and First Departure find their time to strike. As powerful as Gyrocopter is as a hero, especially when Rocket Barrage is hitting only one person, as it was, it's only level 1 Rocket Barrage. It's still a dual lane, and there's still just way too many heroes there from First Departure. Just that many heroes worth of right clicks is going to be really difficult to deal with. But, you know, while the Dazzle's here, you're not going to get that kill, at least not in the Gyrocopter. You'll have Shadow Wave to worry about, which at this point is level 2. Plus, of course, that Grave. So this Gyrocopter should not really be in a similar situation anytime soon, especially if Earthshaker decides to spend a little bit more time there. However, Dazzle, that's a different question entirely. He's stuck in between Lion and Winter Wyvern, although who's stuck between who? Gyrocopter with the Rocket Barrage, such an imposing hero at this early stage of the game, even though he may only be level 2.
This is the unfortunate circumstances of running a Winter Wyvern and a Lion as a supporting duo. These two heroes have very little kill potential because Winter Wyvern, she doesn't do that much damage for a support, honestly. Yeah, she's got the Arctic Burn, which does percentage-based damage, but she's not something like a Lina. She's not something like a Scarlet Mage that has solid damage coming out all the time. Because when even if she gets Splinter Blast, in a team fight, you have to have a target on a hero. So if you're chasing after one hero, you can't use Splinter Blast to chase them down. You can't even hit them with Splinter Blast. So it's much harder for First Departure to kill anything, but they're very good at counter-initiating with what they currently have. And I'm pretty sure that's what they're hoping for Mineski to do, because when you run a Dazzle, you can go a little more ballsy, or you can be more ballsy than you normally would because of the Shallow Grave.
There's a lot of questionable min-maxing going on in this game. I think mostly in the mid lane where both Trolley and Miracle have magic wands. Silencer really isn't the type of hero to spam his skills. I mean, he will cast his last word whenever he has it, but that has a really long cooldown, and Glaives of Wisdom does not give you charges on that stick, so I think Miracle wasted a lot of gold that could have been working towards his bottle. He still doesn't have that one yet, and it's 4 minutes in. He should have had it a long time ago, but this magic wand pickup has done absolutely nothing for him, and kind of seems like it will continue to do nothing for him. Up towards top lane, the Darkseer has gone for no Surge, so he's playing things pretty fast and loose, trying to go for a super aggressive build versus the Spirit Breaker, and I think that's fine, but this mid lane itemization is really kind of questionable. Like, I don't really see any upside to this magic wand.
Yeah, I don't see why he would have picked that up. You already mentioned it's so expensive. He would have had his bottle by now. The only other reason, I guess, behind getting a magic wand is probably he just wants the extra stats and possibly those charges saving his life. Because we've seen a couple of times where just having the early magic wand can save your life, even though you're getting 15 HP per charge. So the 1 or 2 charges, it might save his life one day. We never know, or it could be a waste.
Seems like a waste right now. Just like looking at the last hits, this is the most lopsided mid lane I think I have ever seen, at least in a real serious game. There's money on the line, so this is a serious game. Queen of Pain has 1. Just 1. And Silencer's 36 for 22. Like, that is just... I don't even know how that happens ever. I mean, I just saw it happen because Silencer obviously got off to a really good start, and Queen of Pain is going for a really awkward build, but this Queen of Pain, already, it's only 5-6 minutes in, it almost seems like she's not going to do anything for the entire game. Her bottle right now is almost completely irrelevant.
Yeah, she's going to have to sit in lane and get those levels, because level 4 Queen of Pain can do absolutely nothing in any of these lanes. She just doesn't have the damage output to be useful for her team. If she tries to rotate bottom and maybe they can go for a 4 versus 3 engage, then maybe they could come out ahead. But you're going up against a Dazzle, an Earthshaker. There's so much disengage on Mineski. It's just the first departure start is really kicking them in the gut. They needed the start because they're running a draft that's the only downside is that Faceless Void, which I'm really surprised about. Maybe they're going to wait till Lulz is level 6 and then go for a Chronosphere gank and bring Miracle with them to get some Assist Gold and EXP. That's probably the safest way to get Miracle some extra oomph to his farm, but aside from that, for him to stay in this mid lane against Trolley, it's not effective. And he can't jungle either, because Queen of Pain jungle, not the best.
Especially when you only have level 2 Scream. He does have a little bit of stacking going on in his own jungle. Not a ton, but hey, at least it's better than nothing. Really the downside here is that Faceless Void doesn't really do that much until much later. Like, Chronosphere is nice. He does add a little bit to his team once he grabs that level 6, but really you need the Queen of Pain in this particular style of draft to hold down the fort while the Faceless Void just does nothing but farm. We have a Global Silence going out. Jesse Vash up towards top, fighting with dual Ion Shells versus Palasa. Nether Strike is there, however, Trolley will come in right with the last word. That'll kill off the Spirit Breaker before you get anything else. And now the Surge on the Silencer, looking for those glaives. I don't think he'll have enough damage. One more hit is all he needs. Not gonna do it. 40 HP. Trolley won't get a double, but he still walks right in, kills off the Spirit Breaker, saves Jesse Vash's life. And this top lane, we kind of haven't really been talking about it because it's been, you know, 1 versus 1 matchup, but Darkseer has been absolutely dominating it. I mean, Spirit Breaker's not doing terribly, but still, this is inherently a very Darkseer favored lane. Now with the Arcane Boots, plus what looks like perhaps a Soul Ring on the way, Jesse Vash is going to continue to be very comfortable.
This game is just not looking like a first departure game. Unless Mineski somehow just screw up horribly, I cannot really see them coming back into the game anytime soon. It's still Miracle at level 5. You have a Faceless Void who... Faceless Void as a hero is great, his Chronosphere is good, but you just don't have heroes to make use of the Chronosphere early like a Jakiro or a Scarab Mage. So, what would you think is their way of coming back into the game? Do you think they have to go for some successful Polison ganks and Chronosphere kills? Because they can't do anything with Miracle by himself.
Like, what else are they gonna do, right? Like, Spirit Breaker's the only one who's having any sort of decent time. He's not having a fantastic time, but you know, he's level 7, 8 minutes in as an offlaner. That's actually pretty good. He has level 3 charge, so this should about be the time where he wants to actually contribute to his team, because if he doesn't, if they don't actually shake up the status quo, then they're just not going to win this game. It's just that simple. So they really have to do something to try to make this a little bit different. I think, you know, rotating the line up towards the top lane, trying to get a kill on the Darkseer, that's kind of what they need to do, except for the fact that you're trying to kill off a Darkseer. He is incredibly difficult to kill, and, well, he's sitting right next to his tier 1 tower. He's in the safe lane, so it's a lot easier for Mineski to reinforce that. The longer they sit back and do nothing, the worse shape First Departure are going to be in, because stuff like this is going to happen where Kyuku, he's going to be moving, looking towards the bottom lane. I don't think they know where Lubby is, but I don't really think they care either, because this tower, slowly but surely, is going to drop.
Lubby wouldn't even do too much to help Lulz, aside from throwing out a slow or 2. That's pretty much the only thing Winter Wyvern's going to be there for. Because you don't want to cold embrace any hero near a gyrocopter, because you're just going to get a rocket barrage in the face. Or it might even set up a cooldown. So, the Winter Wyvern pick for this game, they got it very early, but I like the way Mineski has picked up their heroes to play around the Winter Wyvern, because she is a one-trick pony after the Winter's Curse.
Trolley is going to get charged by Palasan, but who's in danger now? Because Trolley's going to turn around with level 3 Glimpse of Wisdom. Needs a couple more to get the kill. Will throw out one last one. Even using Global Silence to prevent Kai from casting anything. Unfortunately, the TP towards the mid lane was cancelled, so Trolley is going to struggle a little bit more to get this kill, but still, Kai can take a huge hit from that last word, and Trolley really wants this. However, here comes Miracle. Sonic Wave will get the kill, and the Silencer will go down. That's a big kill for Miracle. At the same time, bottom lane, well, they're not going to go for an aggressive dive, but they will force everyone back and take the tower. Yeah, I don't know who canceled their TP over towards the mid lane. Probably is going to be that Earthshaker, and if he does actually stick that TP, they do get a couple more kills, but Mineski playing a little bit fast and loose with their Silencer, and I think at this point, that's kind of understandable.
Yeah, during the mid fight actually, down bottom, the Winter Wyvern and the Faceless Void, they went for a Chronosphere. He threw the Chronosphere and they kind of stood there, looked at them and left. They didn't even bother attempting to jump onto them. So I don't know what happened with that Chronosphere, if they were supposed to go in, if there was supposed to be TPs. So that's the Chronosphere on cooldown for 70 seconds, and that means that Lulz is just back to farming. He's a redundant hero, and he's going to be ganked in the process. Cuckoo, can he get the fissure off, though? Jules is going to be the first one to go because he needs to nail down the damage. Or are they going to go for Miracle instead? They got 3 heroes, but they only have 1 reliable stun for that Queen of Pain. Or they're just gonna find the Faceless Void. No, I don't think they will. He's going the safe way.
Oh, they might intercept the Spirit Breaker just charged from top lane. Oh, they will! It was a trap the entire time. Philosophy get another strike, but that won't even connect. I don't know how intentional that was, but I'm gonna say that was fully intentional. Mineski were just setting up in a very elaborate trap with their silencer TPing up towards the top lane. The smoke actually does connect on target, probably not the one that anyone expected, but end result, they get a kill. They also get this tier 1 tower, and if anyone shows their face, there's a fissure waiting for them. The second tier 1 tower to drop, and first departure, they are, as I said before, falling further and further behind with the Hand of Midas and the silencer. He has an additional plus 10 int in his stash as well, plus a completed mech on the Darkseer. You know, the only way this could be going worse for first departure is if the Shaker was closer to his Blink Dagger. He's still pretty far away, but he's gone for Arcane Boots, and he has that really early.
Radiant's middle tower is
This advantage that Mineski has managed to pull up is massive. There is a charge on a trolley, but do you really want to go onto a silencer though? He's got help behind him. And Paulison, is he stuck in the trees? He's sitting in there. I fully believe he's stuck in there. He has to nether strike himself to get out of there. They're going to jump onto Jesse Bash. He is very tanky though. He's a Darkseer. Global Silence has been deployed. Are they going to commit to Paulison though? Looks like Mineski is just going to make a getaway. The charge though, again, going to go onto Jesse Bash, but where's the damage for first departure?
Oh,
There is a Chronosphere.
Onto 3, Sonic Wave, onto those same 3. Trolley's gonna take the Finger of Death and go down, but now the cooldown's there, and Lulz really doesn't have enough HP to stand up against both the cooldown and the Ion Shell. Paulson's gonna charge right back in by himself, will disengage cleanly, no Fissure being casted, so, you know, first departure actually do manage to land their combo. It's the only combo that they have, but if it hits, then it hits, and Silencer, well, the mech was already used by Jesse Vash, so that wasn't available. There was no Fissure to cancel that, so it's actually an okay engagement for FD.
Yeah, that was. It was a 1k swing in their favor. So massive lump of gold into everyone's pockets, and that gold hopefully is going to start bringing them into the game. Another charge, they're going to be going onto the bottom lane. He does cancel last minute though, but the charge is going to be off cooldown very shortly. Instead, he's going to go for a TP back to base because there's no one in lane to help him. Miracle just retreating into the jungle, just farming away for his Yule Scepter. Yule Scepter on a Queen of Pain. You know your Queen of Pain is struggling if she's going to go for the Yule Scepter. That is the budget mid item for a lot of those mana intensive heroes.
Yeah, it's not really what you want to be doing. At least in this game, it provides some additional value because you're able to get rid of the global silence just by cycloning yourself. So it's not like a really terrible item, but you know, 9 times out of 10 you would rather not have to go for this one. Jules over in the mid lane is going to get forced out just with a little bit of mana being spent. One last word, one Fissure, no big deal, and Faceless Void now really roughed up. This Winter Wyvern is pretty much the walking salve at this point. It's like, do you even maybe consider getting more Cold Embrace just for a little bit more HP? But I don't know, it seems like that's a no-win prospect. Over towards mid, they're going to slowly but surely push this one down, and it seems like there's no response from FD. They don't have a Chronosphere, which means they cannot fight.
Yeah, they need their Chronosphere up for any sort of team fight, like you said. So they're just going to have to keep on going, keep farming, and hopefully just slowly come back by farm. And with the farm, just grab those items to help them with the team fights. But they're on a very long road to coming back into this game. They need a couple more decent team fights like last time, and then that might be their stairway to heaven. But Jules being very aggressive in his positioning, just going onto the high ground. There's no vision up there, so if First Departure had a lot of heroes, they could have just bursted him down instantly. Even though there was a Darkseer, even if there was a Silencer, I think they could have bursted him down.
Or at least catch Mineski in a position where they're all going into a bottleneck, trying to reinforce their gyrocopter, and then from there on, First Departure just catch them in a pincer. I don't know, Miracle. I don't know, but I think it's a little bit too late to blame lag right now. That is the best wall I've ever seen. Holy crap.
Zoning wall.
Doesn't make copies of the tower, unfortunately.
How awesome would that be if you got copies of towers? Just a
That'll be
whole
stupid.
like,
It would look terrible, Trolley.
Be...
that actually won't even be that good, will it? I guess, like, it gives you True Sight then. That'll be sweet.
I guess so. Okay, I guess. Maybe you get towers hitting creeps.
Well, they're going to
no
try to
idea.
go for
Witch's
Trolley.
Curse.
There's the curse, does absolutely nothing. Now the cooldown's going to destroy Miracle, though he will cyclone himself for a little while. Fissure's going to connect, and Miracle's going to go down. Fortunately, First Departure, that engagement did not involve the Chronosphere, but unfortunately for them, it involves probably an equally valuable skill in the Winter's Curse. Now Paulson's going to charge right in. Jules going to get mech'd up. There's a grave right behind him. And FD just don't have the burst damage or the tankiness or really anything to actually kill off any of these heroes. Mineski are going to take all of it and then walk away one tower richer. Shaker now is very close to his blink, and no one on Mineski is going to die. First Departure need to get more farm, as you said, but at this point, there's nowhere that's actually safe for them to farm. They're losing way too much map control.
Yeah, the map control is so important for them. So with First Departure's demise, do you think it was a draft problem? Do you think it was just a lane problem? Do you think it was the level 1 engagement that really set First Departure back? Or was it potentially just the silencer pick?
I think it might just be the lane strength for Mineski. Like, Darkseer versus Melee is usually just going to be an auto win for Darkseer, and Mineski played a pretty greedy dual lane off lane because they can. Like, versus the very low damage safe lane of First Departure, there's not really much that Mineski have to fear. Combine that with the fact that Trolley just rolled the mid lane, I think that's just kind of bonus. Otherwise, it would have been 2 lanes for Mineski winning, with the mid lane going even. So, though the level 1 engagement was certainly very nice, I think even without that, First Departure just don't really have enough in the early game department to actually put up a fight versus Mineski's.
So with that said, unfortunately, the Faceless Void is going for a first item BKB.
Oh, and he's gonna get Echo Slammed. God. Nice BKB. Well, there's a Blink Dagger on the Shaker now, and I guess First Departure know about it, so intel gained, but at what cost? Because now they're gonna lose the tower as well. Poor guy. He's been really lucky on his backtracks, though. I've been seeing quite a few of them for only level 1 skill. Blink forward fissure. Oh, Lubby's so screwed right now. He's going to embrace himself, but the Ion Shell and the Vacuum back, they'll get the kill eventually. That'll be a very easy one at that. Will First Departure even get a tower in trade? Maybe they get 2, but that's not even worth it.
Yeah, absolutely wasn't. So, First Departure, again, having to just disperse and get nothing in the process as well. They're starving for gold. And not just gold, they're starving for EXP, for map control. They need everything that they can get. But Mineski just isn't giving it to them. They're not giving him any sort of space. They're just choking First Departure. I think this game is probably going to go for another 10 minutes, and maybe First Departure will just tap out. I think they're just going to be starved too much that they're going to have nothing left in the tank.
The weird thing is that the XP advantage is only 3,000, which is still pretty sizable for 18 minutes in, but you'd expect with the amount that Mineski are getting through kills, through towers, it'll be a little bit more. They're going to try to go for Roche right now, spotted by the Spirit Breaker and therefore spotted by Mineski's Observer Ward, but yeah, First Departure, even though Sonic Wave, Chronosphere, Curse, it's all great in the Roche Pit, you don't really want to be walking into the enemy right now at this point, so should be a double life for Trolley, as yeah, he's going to grab that Aegis, instantly they smoke up, and now they're on the hunt. FD, you guys need to fall back, like, right now, especially you in the mid lane. That is not a safe place to be, because there's a Blink Earthshaker coming in hot with the Surge. Blink, there's the Enchant Totem, Fissures there, as well as the Call Down. Peloson is going to try to charge out of it, but he will pop to the Dazzle of all heroes. Dominating spree on him. No Spirit Breaker. Miracle is super wounded up on the top lane. And Mineski are just going to go for a high ground push. They hit with the Sonic Wave, they hit with the Chronosphere. I don't really think they care that much.
Well, there's a global silence. If the silencer sees the Faceless Blade coming in, he can just pop the global, but global there's going to be deployed. They get the Winter Wyvern, but that means that they only use it to kill a Winter Wyvern. And they get a Lion Kill in the backside too. Yeah. Where's the Faceless Void?
Farming, yeah, he's that BKB.
Oh.
Yeah. Obviously.
I thought he'd be with his team.
Blink Echo Slam. Miracle, you can only stay there for so long against a Blink Shaker. Here comes the charge. He's going to actually cancel for QQ, but there is the grave, and Peloson's not going to get that kill. In fact, he will pay for it with his life. Queen of Pain's going to buy out. Blink, Scream, Sonic Wave will get the kill on the Shaker, but at what cost? Because now Miracle is completely screwed. Nice Chronosphere, only onto 1. And that was, yes, me saying sarcastically nice Chronosphere. This is so over. This has been over for the past 10 minutes.
That was 2 minutes from my prediction.
You were nowhere close. You said 10 minutes.
I said 10 minutes, and then 2 minutes after I said that. Yes.
That's fine. You were being generous.
Very, very rough. Yeah. But that game was incredibly rough. It was horrible. If I was First Departure, my morale would just be down the toilet. Honestly.
How did Lion get a Blink Dagger? What?
I have no idea.
That's,
I don't know,
I think
maybe
that
some-
might be the weirdest part of this game, the fact that Lion has a blink. This team has been
Cell
crapped
team
on this
inventory
entire
blink.
game, and suddenly he's like, yo, I just have the same farm as the Earthshaker on the other end. No big deal, guys. Step up your game. But yeah, this is going to be the end of game 1, guys. This is the best of 3, and when you get rocked this hard, there's not much you can do except for shake it off, try to get a clean slate, and then go again, which is going to be coming very soon, guys. I'm Mikelorus. I've been joined by Danny, and we'll both be right back for hopefully a little bit more interesting game 2 between Mineski and First Departure.